Hi, my name is Vena. I'm originally from Rare, but I live in Nandi. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm John from Kornabuan, Tafua. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks.
Bula, I'm Teopola.
Bula, I'm Atlisi.
We love listening to Today FM because it rocks in Ba.
Hola, my name is Tisal. I've been listening to Today FM.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Tonight, heavy rain and floods affect the west. Another low-pressure system heads our way. And evacuation centres open in Nandi and Tavua.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
With TD09F now moving away from Fiji, the danger is not over for the country as another disturbance is hovering over us. Fiji Meteorology Director Ravin Kumar says Tropical Depression TD10F, which currently lies near New Caledonia, is moving southeastwards and towards Fiji. Meanwhile, TD09F is located 75 kilometres south-southeast of Matuku and 250 kilometres southeast of Suva, currently moving away from Fiji.
Tropical disturbance 09F to turn into a tropical depression or a tropical cyclone. The chances remains very low, which is less than 20%. Now, the active trough and the rain bands is continue to affect the country.
We now join Ellen Stahls, who is with the Nandi Met Office Director Ravin Kumar. Ellen, has there been any further developments?
Yes, Jackie, we're not out of the woods as yet. At a media briefing this afternoon, we were told that another tropical disturbance, TD10F, is heading our way. Now, here to tell us a little bit more about this new development is the director of the Fiji Meteorological Service, Ravin Kumar. Sir, what else can you tell us about this new disturbance?
Yes, Ellen, as I briefed this afternoon, there is another system developing to the west of Fiji and is approaching the country and expected to start affecting the country by this Friday.
What sort of preparations and what sort of weather conditions can we expect over the next few days from Friday?
Ellen, we expect the rains to be continuing in many parts of the country, even though we may have a short temporary break coming tomorrow. However, the rain's going to start coming back again, and there is a high possibility that the heavy rains will come back again later on Friday.
So this means flooding as well in major rivers and streams around the country?
Yes, given that the rainfall that we had in a couple of last days, and given that the more rain is coming through this weekend, the chances of river flooding still remains high in the next couple of days.
Thank you, sir, so much for your time. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Ellen. Nandi was not spared by raging flood waters. The main river burst its banks early this morning. While some people anticipated the flood waters to rise, others were caught unaware, and some were even left stranded, completely unaware of the devastation caused by Mother Nature. Ellen Stahls with more.
Nazil Ali's property in Nawaka was one of many that were flooded this morning, so he's been camped here beside the river, monitoring the water levels.
I was here when I see the flood, the water comes above, and I'm doing the marking here of that way of the flood coming. And then just because of this river, we got the flood at our place, down place there.
Where is your place?
Nawaka tramline.
Traffic along the Nandi back road was affected as areas like the Nandi bus stand and some areas in town were inundated with flood waters.
I'm here in Nandi town, and as you can see, the water is steadily increasing. As just a few hours ago, this very bridge had burst its banks and the water had also seeped into Nandi town. Now, police here on the ground have told me that in a few hours they will be closing this road if it is dangerous to pedestrians as well as motorists.
Staff of this riverside restaurant say water levels were higher today compared to the past 2 days.
In here, 7:30, that time was water in under the river, inside river, like more than 1 feet. Slowly now coming up. So we put everything now inside to prepare for the flood, how will not any affect our restaurant like that. So we put everything on top of table.
It was also concerning to see people ignoring the warnings in place as children were seen wandering the streets, playing in flooded areas and drains, disobeying police orders to move to safety. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
Flooding in Sambeto village, Waimalika settlements and Sambeto flats cut off access for residents and villagers into Nandi town this morning. Busloads of people had no choice but to wait for numerous hours before they were able to safely cross into Nandi. Ellen Stalls again with this report.
Lasurusa Ngalotaki is the president of an advisory committee in Waimalika and was out and about this morning helping people move to higher ground. Some heeded his warnings, while others stayed put.
I tried
to tell people to move because the water levels rose so quickly this morning. Some people were still preparing breakfast when the waters began to seep into their homes.
This home in the settlement of Waimalika was a beacon of hope as residents in the area, whose homes were underwater, came here for refuge.
All our neighbors, all the houses were all underwater, so we all get all the things. We try to shift all the things up to, because we were at a bit higher height, so we took all the household things and we tried to remove all the things. By 8 o'clock it was all flooded inside the house.
I'm here at Sambeto Sangam School, where a few families in and around this neighborhood have come here to take shelter, as well as those who are living here in the quarters have also moved to higher ground.
It started raining heavily from last night after 12. It was heavy rain, and then at about 4 we saw that the water is start to rise, so we start to move our things.
There are about 20 people, 10 adults and 10 children. And this morning when the water was rising, and then came and approached me for the classrooms, and I willingly told them to just come and live there. And they are here. One family is from our neighbor, and 2 families are our quarters teachers here.
This afternoon, as waters subsided, some vehicles were able to cross over. However, many homes are still badly affected by these floods this evening. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
We now join Anna Ravulo live as she gives us an update on what the situation is like in other areas. Anna, there have been reports that Ba and Raki towns are also underwater.
Jackie, from the latest report that we received, Ba River is expected to burst its bank as water level continues to rise. Meanwhile, Elevuka Creek has burst its bank, whereby water has reached Ba Market, Central Taxi Stand and shopping complex in Ba Town. In Raki, water level is receding slowly and the town is closed for business. And in Tavua, it continues to rain, leaving Nandarivatu and Laka Bridge underwater. For flood warning remains in force for the following low-lying areas and areas adjacent to Raki Town and downstream of Raki Station, Botua Levu Station, Nandi Bridge Station and downstream of Nandi River. A flood alert remains in force for the following low-lying areas and small streams adjacent to Emuri Station and downstream of Semo River, Kiasi Station and downstream of Singatoka River, Tonga Station and downstream of Ba River. The alert also remains in force for the following low-lying areas and small streams adjacent to other major rivers for the whole of Fiji. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Anna. The Fiji Roads Authority has confirmed that multiple road closures in the Central and Western Divisions. Some parts of Queens Road are closed to all traffic, while in Lautoka, Vunda Back Road and Kings Road from Lomolomo to Waimalika are also closed. The Sambeto Valley Road in Nandi from Nasova to Nambautini is closed to all traffic. The FRA is advising the public to be extremely careful since some roads in urban and low-lying areas are still in danger of flooding as rainfall continues in some parts of the country. Meanwhile, all roads in the Northern and Eastern Divisions remain open. Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says school management and parents are to use their discretion when it comes to sending their children to school given the current wet weather. He says there is no directive to close schools in affected areas. However, children's safety is paramount.
Some schools we have closed. Our advice to parents is that keep your children safe. We are not closing all schools in that area outright because some schools are a safer place. Children, in fact parents themselves, may want to come and stay in the school until the flood recedes. Teachers and students both should take precaution. They should stay safe.
In Lambasa, there's been some rain, but no other major flooding has occurred. However, authorities are on standby should the weather change. The people of Lambasa woke up to some heavy rain early this morning. However, this cleared up a couple of hours later. There's been little to no rainfall throughout the day. It was business as usual in town, with students and members of the public scurrying home so as not to get caught in the looming rain with heavy dark clouds on the horizon. DPC North SSP Verani Nakauyava says they have not received any other flooding reports apart from the one at Nangingi, which has now been cleared. Police are, however, monitoring all low-lying areas and the major rivers. 8 evacuation centres in the Western Division are now open to provide shelter for about 465 people, while another 20 centres are on standby. Commissioner Western Manasa Tangivakimbao has confirmed Nandi currently has the highest number of evacuation centres on standby due to the continuing rainy weather at the moment. Savaira Tambor reports.
People are now sheltering at Toko Primary in Tabua, while 460 are occupants of 7 evacuation centres in Nandi. Commissioner Tangivakimbao is urging affected residents not to stay longer than necessary in these centres.
Centres are mainly to provide shelters to members of the public who may feel that their homes can be threatened by flood waters overnight. And then the next day they are encouraged to go back to their respective houses to see if the houses are affected by flood waters or not, and to do cleanups if so required.
10 evacuation centres are on standby in Nandi, 6 in Lautoka, 2 in Tabua and 1 each in Ba and Rakiraki. The Minister for the National Disaster Management Office, Senior Seri Ratu, wants minimal disruption and is advising members of the public to move into evacuation centres only if they really need to.
Let me assure the general public that the Commissioner Western's team are monitoring very closely, and the evacuation centres have been identified, and if need be, people can move to the evacuation centres, and for them to liaise closely with the government officials if they need any assistance in the meantime.
The heavy downpours in the Western Division have been ongoing from last night, and according to Commissioner Western Tangivakimbao, Nandi town is a critical concern since it's threatened by flood waters at the moment. He says the water level in the Nandi and Nawaka rivers continues to rise and is advising those living nearby to move to higher grounds. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
Ba Town and its surrounding areas were also affected by flood waters. These pictures show the water levels in town this afternoon as heavy rain pelted Ba. Most were forced to take the necessary measures in order to avoid being caught out later tonight. Still ahead, PM lashes out at bus stand petition claims. And Health Minister clarifies dialysis cost issues.
मेरा नाम कमल रोशनी है। हम लोगों में रहते हैं और मिर्ची एफएम सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मेसी है, हम गोल्ड टाउन ताबुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची इज हॉट इन ताबुआ।
Hi, we Bagels. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश ताबुआ में रहता हूँ, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची एफएम is very hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Whether or not a petition to stop consultation on village bylaws represented the views of people from across the nation or just those collected at a bus stand became the centre of a heated argument in Parliament today. Based on the petition, Sodelpa MP Niko Nawaikula moved that the current bylaws be put before the Parliamentary Standing Committee. Ana Ravulo has more.
Opposition MP Niko Nawaikula said he was able to get nearly 400 signatures while at the bus stand, saying they came from people around the country who wanted to stop the village bylaw consultations.
On clarification side, I was sitting at the bus stand waiting for people to come to sign, and I said, sign your Corondina. Don't sign that you're from, you put there, whether you're from Nandronga and your village. So that's why. I want them to say, where is their true village?
Nawaikula says that SEDELPA wants the village bylaws, but not those that are being taken around to villages. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama responded to Nawaikula, calling his petition a bus stand petition.
Honourable Member Nawaikula is still caught in this time warp. And he's lying to everyone with regard to how he obtained that petition in the first place, and I call it the bus stand petition. Then you listen to his explanation. Don't take up my time, please.
Bainimarama says SEDELPA is trying to stop the village consultations as they do not want the government to go to what they think is their domain in the villages and provinces. Nawaikula's motion to refer the petition to the Standing Committee was defeated by 14 in favour and 30 against. Nawaikula then raised with the Speaker that the Prime Minister should withdraw his comments that he was lying about the petition. Bainimarama maintained that Nawaikula was economical with the truth and that he did not take the petition around the country. Ana Ravulo, FBC News.
Fiji's economy in 2018 and 2019 is projected to grow by 3%. If this is achieved, it will be the first time in Fiji's history to have 10 years of consecutive growth. Despite battling Tropical Cyclone Winston, Fiji's economy expanded by 2.5% last year, while this year's forecast stands at 3.6%. The Economy Minister told the Parliament government's initiatives and reforms has driven this growth in the right direction.
The current economic expansion is driven both by public and private sector activities, and we must sustain this growth momentum.
Health Minister Rosie Akbar is expected to meet up with organisations providing dialysis treatment in the country. Concerns have been raised on different sets of prices charged by two organisations providing the same treatment. The Northern Dialysis Centre in Lambasa charges $150 per treatment, while the Kidney Foundation of Fiji is charging $250.
We are going to sit at one table and talk with our service providers as to see how we can bring about a consistency in the charges for our patients. But what I can confirm to you right now is in our 3 divisional hospitals, we provide care for acute renal failure cases, and that's available in the 3 divisional hospitals. We also have a service where patients can apply for assistance if their renal transplant is confirmed.
Member of Parliament Balminder Singh's case on a charge of assault causing actual bodily harm was dismissed by the Suva Magistrates Court this morning. The MP was charged with assaulting Avinesh Naidu in Suva on 30th December 2016. Naidu was present in court and told Magistrate Walleen George that he wants to reconcile without any conditions. Magistrate Walleen George said Singh does not have a right to assault anyone and told him not to reoffend. Time now for Rachel to tell us what's happening in the world of business.
Good evening. Coming up in business tonight, electronic economy, the way to go. And later on in Growing Fiji, spin-offs from construction boom.
And later on in Sports with Jamie, Japanese import boosts Rewa.
Hola, we from Latoka. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is Kanto. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola Fiji, my name is Florence Ratu. I'm from Corner Number 1 in Tabua, and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits every day and all day.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm from the soccer crazy town of Ba. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Fiji is targeting an electronically driven economy. Talks and efforts are underway to bring this about through government and private sector initiatives. Here's the full report. Surveys across the country show Fiji moving away from a cash economy.
There seems to be a general shift towards cashless transactions whereby consumers rely less on cash and more on plastic cards.
This has seen a high reliance on ATMs and FPOS machines. While this has had many advantages, it comes at a cost to customers, with card charges averaging anywhere from $1.50 to $8.
We are the first bank across Fiji to lower our ATM withdrawal fees. While the others are charging double of our ANZ,
The government is working towards introducing a bill that will assist in reducing the cost. The national switch is currently before Parliament and if passed, will play a vital role in the elimination of a black economy. Our government infrastructure bond tender results are in, and here's Alyssa Pedi from HFC Bank to tell us all about it.
Yes, Rachel. The tenders closed yesterday and the Reserve Bank of Fiji received tenders for the 10 and 15-year terms only. Total successful bids were $1 million for the 10-year term and $19 million for the 15-year term. Successful weighted average yields were 6.60% for the 10-year term and 7.09% for the 15-year term. Meanwhile, the Reserve Bank of Australia retained their policy rate at 1.5% yesterday. They cited that their labour market is one of the economy's biggest uncertainties. The jobless rate rose for the second straight month in December to 5.8%. Wage growth is also at its lowest on record.
Looking at today's exchange rates. As you can see, the Chinese yuan continues its upwards trend, closing at $3.28, while the American dollar has dropped by 9 points to close at 47 cents. A contrast in the regional currency as the Australian dollar rose to close at 62 cents, while the New Zealand dollar and PNG kina dropped, closing at 64 cents and $1.33 respectively. Onto the commodities market, oil rose by 85 cents to close at $51.95 a barrel, while gold followed suit, closing at $1,231 an ounce, and silver remained steady at $17.75 an ounce. In growing Fiji tonight, a construction boom has been noted in the past 6 months. This is reflected through sales of cement by Pacific Cement Limited, a subsidiary of Fijian Holdings Limited. Here's the full report. The recent production of Fijian cement has broken all past records.
Last 6 months, we sold more than 80,000 tons of cement, which is not normal. So it's looks like another record year for cement, building and construction.
Farid says a major contributor to the boom is the rebuilding post-cyclone Winston. The Minister for Economy believes the hike in production is due to the government allocating significant funds for the rehabilitation process.
The construction sector is expected to be one of the major drivers of growth in 2017.
Farid says this construction boom and the subsequent cement production hike is expected to continue for quite some time. And that's a wrap from the business desk tonight. Sports is up next with Jamie.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening in sports after the break. More firepower added to Rio football ahead of OFC Championships. And in our play of the day, the King saves the Cavaliers once again. This and more coming up.
Well, Meteorologist, may kunukulan rasa lutoka, duba talita kana warong na radio Fiji.
Bulan rango fina may korabiri Nandi, auto talitaka na warong na radio Fiji na programa ni mas masu na mataklaylay.
Oya ochone kurinambila mai bunangoro na makete hinga toka kwe bido talitakini na warong na radio Fiji genya na domo ibiti.
Na radio Fiji na domo ibiti na bonga ni bienen.
A top local coach and a Japanese import are the latest recruits for an already star-studded Rio football side preparing for the OFC Champions League. The Delta Tigers are working at a frenetic pace to ensure all loose ends are tied up before next month's tournament.
After the addition of 3 Brazilians, the latest to join the Reds is this 27-year-old Japanese defender.
It's not too bad so far. Yeah, but because it's not very organized. Yeah, training pitch and training ball, so everything like that. So we have to keep training hard.
Matsumoto has also got a pass mark from his mentor.
They can bring something new for our players to learn, and we have not brought players just anyhow. We have specifically hand choose and handpicked this specific position.
Former Suva coach Gurjeet Singh has been roped in to lend a helping hand, which is a major boost for Rondu.
The better we are prepared technically, I think the better the boys will be prepared. So they have provided me good feedbacks from last weekend's game. Both him and Tangi add value to my technical support team.
Samuela Kautonga and Nandi's Bunyuzi Tukomai Merike have also joined the Delta Tigers. 4 overseas imports and 2 of the top local coaches are part of preparations for Rewa. The Delta Tigers are taking their first ever outing in Oceania very seriously. All will have to be in the same footing if Rewa is to pose the slightest of threats to the big guns of Oceania. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, all Vodafone Premier League matches scheduled for this weekend have been called off due to the current weather conditions. The Fiji Football Association made the decision earlier today. Vodafone Youth League matches have also been called off. Errors were a major factor in Fiji's downfall at the Sydney Sevens last weekend. This is one of the areas that coach Gareth Bebe and his team are expected to work on when they return to camp on Monday. Vasnil Prasad has more.
This crucial mistake by the Fiji Sevens side in Sydney quarterfinal saw us hand the game to New Zealand on platter.
It's just a fact of us playing to the best of our ability and, playing the best version of ourselves and making sure that we play to our 100 so that the other teams can touch us when we go to the next leg.
Being grouped with Australia, Japan and Scotland for the Las Vegas tournament, our team now knows that gone are the days of breezing through pool games.
We always treat every team as a final, every game as a final, and those teams are core teams in the series. And Australia made the semi-final and they top seeds in our pool, so we can't underestimate them.
Fiji is the defending champion in Las Vegas and want to make it a hat-trick of US title wins.
We want to be, and that's what we want to do for the last remaining leg, is fight for serious points and try and stay on top and close the gap against South Africa.
Team management says coach Gareth Bebe is slowly adapting to Fiji's national game.
On behalf of coach Gareth Bebe, very difficult task to him, but he has a lot of depth in believing the boys.
The next 2 weeks in camp will be crucial. We could see the return of a few experienced players in selecting of the best team for the next leg. This has to be done if Fiji is to stand chance to get near current leaders South Africa. Vasnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Fiji National Rugby League has been scouting for players at its 9th tournaments. Fiji residents coach Joe Rambele says the past 2 tournaments have been fruitful and he expects to uncover more talent this weekend in Nandi. The Nandi 9th tournament will be held this Saturday at Prince Charles Park.
The likes of some of the Namatukula players that really they played outstanding game in last week.
Major renovations have started at the FMF National Gymnasium. Repairs to the roof and floors started last month. The Sports Council CEO says the $1.5 million project is being funded by the government. The FMF National Gymnasium is expected to reopen in July.
The renovations of the roof, our national gymnasium, our FMF gym is in dire need of repair. Our roof has been leaking for a while, and for our flooring, we need the flooring to be replaced. And we'll have an extension to the site so that event organizers have some area where they can work from, and we will also have an office set up.
That's it from Sports Tonight. Angie will give you the latest weather forecast later on. And gamers, if you had plans to buy the soon-to-be-released Nintendo console, you don't want to miss our new media segment. That's coming up.
I'm Andrea Sorbakroa of Nayabu Wenebuga Televu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Kano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Thinking about buying Nintendo's new console? Well, consider waiting. Rachel Nath will tell you why. And with all the talk about flood and rain, Angie is here to tell us more about the weather.
Good evening and welcome to my world.
Well, it looks like our sun has gone on vacation as the active rain bands associated with TD09F takes over, bringing rain and flash flooding to most parts of the nation. In the west, floodwater levels in Reki have decreased over the last few hours, but as we speak, water levels are rising rapidly in Nandi, Lautoka and Ba. More heavy rain are expected by early tomorrow morning, and the public are advised to exercise extreme caution and refrain from hanging out around flooded areas. Eastwards from Pekhaba to Siva, there were few cloudy periods with, of course, no sign of any sunshine again today. Temps stayed at 29 degrees. And up north, there were few thunderstorms with showers. Lambasa recorded 29 degrees, while the Hidden Paradise was at 31. Looking further ahead to our favorite Friday, conditions will possibly ease off in the day, but expect heavy rain as we approach the evening. So if you are stepping out, do equip yourselves with umbrellas. At sea, northwest winds 20 to 30 knots with rough to very rough seas, so think again before sitting in a boat. For mariners, the next low tide tonight is at 10:51 p.m. with the high tide tomorrow morning at 5:02. And before I go, tomorrow's temperatures are generally cloudy and humid conditions. Suva and Savu are expected to be the warmest spots in the country with a high of 31 degrees and lows of 24 and 26. And that's FBC weather for tonight, Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fiji and Pulse today, we asked, are block drains a major cause of flooding during heavy rain?
I believe that block drains is a major concern for our country. We need the relevant authorities to look into this situation.
Yes, it's a major concern. Better planning is needed.
Yes, block drains has mainly contributed to flooding in towns around the country.
Personally, I think the major causes of these floodings that are happening all over Fiji when there's heavy rain is that it may be due to the latest developments that we are making and also the poor planning.
Most drains in towns and cities are blocked, and this has caused flooding every now and then.
Yes, I think drainage system is the major cause of flooding in Fiji right now.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, a meteorite over Lake Michigan has lit up the skies of several states in the Midwest of the United States of America. Recapping the main stories, heavy rain and floods affect the West. Another low-pressure system is heading our way, and evacuation centers open in Nandi and Tavua. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To the poll question, this week, with 19 fires so far this year, we're asking, are Fijians taking fire safety seriously? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, tonight's shot of the day. We have some shots from the west, which was affected by severe flooding today. This was the scene in Nandi this morning as floodwaters rose quickly, affecting people of all walks of life. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, you can tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. Until next time, from the team and I, good night.
From Lautoka, we love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is Kanto. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Mula Fiji, my name is Florence Ratu. I'm from call number 1 in Tavua, and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits every day and all day.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm from the soccer crazy town of Ba. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.